Welcome to the next episode of the Dark Web Deacon. So let's check our secure connections, adjust our hoodies, and as always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. The U.S. Speaker of the House of Representatives and third in line to the President, Nancy Pelosi, visited Taiwan on August 2, 2022, rekindling Sino-American tensions despite numerous threats from hacking organizations and the Chinese government themselves before the trip. Now, I know this topic is very controversial, and on this channel we don't do politics. But when everyday people are impacted by hackers and politicians with massive egos who are looking to do them harm, I find it critical to discuss and dissect the real-world consequences of events like this. For those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. As I mentioned, Nancy Pelosi's visit did not go unnoticed. Specifically, a major hacking organization known as APT27 went on the offensive. They announced on social networks a major cyber operation against Taiwan's government, departments, infrastructure, and business organizations was imminent. The message was as follows.
Hello, citizens of the world. We are APT27. Recently, we have noticed that Nancy Pelosi visited Taiwan despite the opposition and warnings of China and Taiwan compatriots. Taiwan has been China's territory since ancient times. In order to oppose the provocation, we will carry out a special cyber operation against Taiwan. The target of the attack includes the Taiwan government and all infrastructure. Let's wait and see. I wish you good luck.
So what was the end result of all this back and forth? Well, on August 7th, APT27 claimed responsibility for a whole series of computer attacks carried out against the President's Office of Taiwan, the Taiwan Power Company, and the National Police Agency, and the administration of highways of the island. The group also threatened to leak government information and publicize vulnerabilities in Taiwanese network devices and equipment. The situational intensity grew as APT27 continued its communication the next day, on August 8th, and declared that it had taken control of more than 200,000 internet-connected devices in Taiwan after already shutting down 60,000 Internet of Things devices. The group added that its actions would allow it to exploit these networks to potentially launch even more damaging and destructive attacks in the future. Trellix, a benchmark in cybersecurity born from the merger of McAfee and FireEye, has studied the situation closely. Trellix reveals that Chinese networks have collected a huge amount of personal data from many Taiwanese universities, hospitals, government organizations, and companies. However, APT27 is on the record saying that they will not attack nonprofit or medical care organizations. That being said, Trellix believes the information stolen across multiple organizations can be used to facilitate targeted attacks, as well as to launch fraud, phishing, and cyber espionage, with growing fears on future ransomware-type attacks. So who's the real victim in all of this? Well, it's the average person living in Taiwan, trying to pay a bill, go to work, go to school, or buy food. While not widely reported by Western and US media, the branches of 7-Eleven convenience stores in Taiwan had their television screens behind cashiers suddenly switched to display the words, "Warmonger Pelosi, get out of Taiwan." Other devices around the country were hacked and displayed a message saying, quote, "The visit of the old witch to Taiwan is a serious violation of the sovereignty of the motherland, and those who actively greet them will eventually be separated by the people, and the blood relations of the same race and ethnic group will continue to be severed, and the Great China will eventually be reunified." End of quote. The reality is this. Yes, the island of Taiwan has been connected to Chinese culture for most of human history. And yes, Taiwan is often regarded as an unsinkable aircraft carrier due to its size and strategic position. Keep in mind, it's less than 100 miles to mainland China from Taiwan. So regardless of how you feel about China, you have to understand why they would not want an adversary to control this territory. We also have to acknowledge that Taiwan has prospered and has the 21st largest GDP of any country in the world, in large part due to connections to the US and Western powers. and is a major supplier of microchips, which are critical for all of us to function in the modern world. And finally, individuality, freedom of speech, and due process are principles that all people should enjoy, which would be in jeopardy if the people of Taiwan were governed and influenced by Beijing alone. In my opinion, this was not a tear down this wall type of moment for Nancy Pelosi. The visit by Speaker Pelosi accomplished nothing aside from giving her a photo op and merely eroded another layer in the growing canyon between a peaceful resolution of this matter and more potential violence. Check out the Dark Web Deacon merch store. We have high-quality t-shirts, accessories, and signature hoodies, of course, and become a true dark web enthusiast and VIP. New videos are published every Monday and Thursday.